Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. My name is Harshita and I will be the sergeant at arms for today's meeting. I am very much delighted to welcome you to all for 95th meeting of the SoundBytes Toastmasters Club. We shall start the session with a quote. Out of the mountain of despair, there is a stone of hope. This is by Martin Luther King. Hope you all are doing well and safe. Please turn on your camera. I want to see your smiling faces. I think all the role players are in the room. Only Saurabha, she told she will join. Before starting the meeting, I would like to mention 3 core values which we'll follow in our Toastmasters meeting. Please put yourself on mute if you are not actively speaking. This will avoid distractions during the speeches. Second is, please turn off your video if you are stepping out of the meeting. Third is, please be cautious when you are talking about sex, religion, and politics. I want to give a clear picture of the mission of the Toastmasters. As anybody in their life has a goal, the Toastmasters mission is to achieve their goals. Likewise, our Toastmasters Club's mission is to provide mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in confidence and self-growth. And thereby, the feedback for every speech helps individual to improve their communication skills effectively. Today's theme is serendipity. I think there is an English movie on this. Maybe that's why Rajan has selected this song. But I don't know a lot more about it. Let him only introduce that today's theme. I would like to welcome the club's president Gaurav. His hobbies include reading books and traveling, and he's the synonym of energy and positivity. His ideologies always remain creative. Welcome, Gaurav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harshita, for such a warm welcome and starting our session in a very fantastic manner. A very good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I welcome you all to the 95th Toastmaster session of Radisys SoundBytes Club. As a club, we meet second and fourth Wednesday of every month. And in our club meeting, all the participants and club members get the opportunity to participate in different events like prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluation. And these events help them to develop their communication and leadership skills. Our theme of today's meeting is serendipity. We'll hear more from our Toastmaster of the day on this topic. So before starting our today's meeting, I would like to start with a small story. And the story is prediction of Neptune. Yes, the planet Neptune. As we all know, there are some planets which are near to Earth, like Mars, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn. So these planets, our astronomers who knows about the planetary motion, stars, their shine, they can observe these planets with a naked eye in the nighttime sky. While there are few planets which are very far, like Uranus, Pluto, which got recently demoted from the planet category, these are the planets which are not visible with the naked eye, and they were discovered with the help of telescope. But there is very interesting story about Neptune, and that story says Neptune was not discovered using the telescope. Even though it is very far, it was not discovered using a telescope, but it was discovered with a pen. So it was the time of late 18th century when our astronomers and scientists were very well versed with the planetary motion laws given by Kepler and the gravitational laws given by Newton. And in 1780s, they observed the planet Uranus. All the astronomers started observing its orbit, its planetary motion, but they were perplexed with the irregularities found in its orbit. At that point of time, a French mathematician, Urbain Jean-Joseph Leverrier. He applied his mathematical skills. He applied the gravitational and planetary motion laws, and he predicted that these kind of irregularities are possible only if there is another heavy body near to Uranus. So what he did, he predicted a heavy body, he applied some mathematical logic, and he shared his observation with one of his friends in the Berlin Observatory. And what happened after that is the history. His friend confirmed the existence of Neptune on the very same night when he received letter from Leverrier. And that too within the 1 degree of the predicted position. Some people said it luck, some people said it mathematics or pattern. But this is how our nature works. Our nature is full of pattern, it is full of mysteries. And when we start looking for pattern, when we start searching for the pattern, it fills us with the joy of mystery and with a lot of moments of serendipity. So with this, I would like to start our today's meeting. For that, I would like to call our Toastmaster of the day, who is someone who loves traveling, who loves to explore different places, and who loves to try different cuisines as well. So please welcome Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rajan Sahu.
Thank you so much for a wonderful introduction, Gaurav. So, as a Toastmaster of the day, it's my responsibility to introduce today's speakers. After the speeches have concluded, I will ask for the timer's report, request ballot to be passed to the vote counter, introduce the general evaluator, and ask the R counter for their report, and ask the governor for their report as well, and for the vote counter. Then I will return the control to the meeting for president before concluding. Thank you, Mr. President. Now, I will start with today's theme called serendipity. So serendipity means some fortunate some event that occur in such and develop in such a way that it will have some positive happening, like some happy accident, you could say, in short. So today's theme is serendipity, and I will start today's theme with my personal story that happened to me. So once after the exam, me and my friends were planning to go to travel to a different place. So we went to Dehradun, and from Dehradun we started our journey. The journey begins gloriously. So the traveling was going on very smoothly. We were enjoying. Suddenly, what happened? Like our phones lost signal. The phone lost signal, and suddenly the GPS was not working properly. Suddenly it happened, and there was no communication. So what we had happened that we missed the correct turn and went ahead. After some point of time, we realized that we have missed the point because the GPS was misfluctuating. And then what happened? Suddenly I saw a view, and I said, everyone to stop. I stopped everyone, and we all came out of the car and just look at the view. That view gave me goosebumps. The view of huge mountain covered with ice, snow, it was so beautiful. I don't think if we went to the correct path, if we did not lose the GPS direction and all, we would have been seeing such view. And that happened because of a happy accident. So with that, I would like to call our, yeah. So with that, I would pass on the, pass on with our general evaluator, who also likes to travel, who is also a bit lazy, and who newly acquired the hobby, which is gardening. So I would like to call upon our today's general evaluator, Chitra. So thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajan. Let me just enable my video. Yeah, I hope I'm audible and visible to everyone. Okay. So let me start. So good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So for the benefit of our new members and guests, I would like to introduce my role. So I am the general evaluator of the session, and the evaluation is the feedback or the better listening part of the session that Toastmaster Rajan introduced on. So during the evaluation portion, I would be bringing back, along with my team, feedback on how the session went, how individual speakers did, how all the role players did, including the evaluators themselves. So to assist me with the session today, I have something called a tag team. Tag is basically timer, R counter, and grammarian. So the timer, the R counter, and the grammarian would be assisting me in watching out for filler words, how the sentences and the grammar was used in the session, and keep, if the most important part of any speech is to keep it succinct, right? So I have an able tag team with me. So I would like to call upon Toastmaster Madhur, who has been a new member of Toastmasters Club. He is married with 2 sons and he loves to play football. He's a huge fan of Narendra Modi and likes to debate on any topic. He is from Bodh Gaya. Please welcome timer for today, Madhur Ranjan.
Thank you, Chitra. Thank you for introducing me to the team. Okay, so the team, I am a timer for you today. My role as a timer is to monitoring time during prepared speech, table topics, and evaluations. At the end of the meeting, I will report the times of each participant. This will let you know if you delivered your presentation within the allotted time frame. Thank you all. So thank you, Olia.
Thank you, Toast.
Just a minute. I forgot to introduce you the way how you will get you. Actually, I'll indicate you to also how your time is going on. So the prepared speech, the time allocated time is 5 to 7 minutes, and when the 5 minute starts, you will have note of my background. It will be green background. Okay. When the 6 minute starts, you will have this yellow background, and when you cross the 7 minute allotted time frame, you will have the red background.
Sorry, Toastmaster Madhu, sorry for interrupting. Today we have one speech, which is an icebreaker. So the rules for that is slightly different. So it's 4 to 6 minutes. So 4 green, 5 yellow, and 6 red.
Okay then. Okay. And for prepared speech, for table topics, we'll have 1 to 2 minutes. And when 1 minute starts, it will be green at my background. When 1.5 minutes, it will be yellow background. And after 2 minutes, you will have a red background. Yeah, Chitra.
Yeah, please go ahead. I just want to remind you of the evaluations.
Yeah, evaluations will have 2 to 3 minutes. So 2 minutes, you will have green background. 2.5 minutes, you will have the yellow background. And when you cross the 3 minutes, you will have the red background. So you have to keep noting of whoever is on the table, means on the speak, he has to note down my background this way. Thank you all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Madhu. Thank you for a briefing on your role and explaining the timing rules to everybody. Next, I would like to call upon our SA for every session. She's a passionate dancer. She is really into Kuchipudi dance, arts, and crafts. She likes to read books. Please welcome Toastmaster Harshita. She's the R counter for today.
Yeah, thank you, Chitra. Today, my role as a R counter, I will note and keep track of words and sounds used as a crutch or pause filter by anyone if they speak during the meeting. The use of inappropriate interjections such as and, well, but, so, etc. And as well as sounds like etc. I will make a note of any such usages of the crutch sounds and filler words mentioned above. Throughout the meeting, I will listen to everyone, correct sounds and long pauses used as fillers, and if they are not used unnecessarily in their sentence structure. I will note down how many these scratch sounds or words each person used during the speeches in the meeting. When called by the general evaluator, I will share my report. But as I'm playing multiple roles, I will take this role only for the prepared speech and the speech evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harshita. So next we have something that we're all weak at, the grammarian. So I would like to call upon our president, and I think there is no new way to introduce Toastmaster Gaurav. So the one word when it comes to Toastmaster Gaurav is conscientious. And I would like to welcome him as the grammarian for the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chitra. Hello, everyone. So my role as grammarian is to introduce the word of the day and encourage its use by speakers, evaluators, and table topic participants. I will note who used the word of the day or its derivative correctly or incorrectly. I will listen to word usage and note any awkward or misuse of English language, such as incomplete sentences, incorrect grammar, malapropisms, etc. Now, for word of the day, let me just share my screen. Is my screen visible to all?
I am not. Oh, yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
visible.
Is my screen visible to all?
Yes.
Okay. So today's word of the day is verb. It is a noun and its meaning is enthusiasm. Mnemonic to remember this particular word is: her nerves were bubbling with excitement. She expressed her verb verbally. So uses, we can find there are two uses. The verb of a newborn, one's verb in important tasks. Synonym for this word are liveliness, enthusiasm, elan or gusto. And antonyms for this word are dullness, lethargy, torpor or habitude. Yeah. So I will be keeping this word in my virtual background so that you can refer it anytime during the meeting. And at the end of the meeting, I will share my report whenever called by the general evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster Chitra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav, for introducing the word of the day with so much work. I would like to now call upon the evaluator for the speech today. So today we have one icebreaker speech by Saurabha. The evaluator is Toastmaster Nitya. Toastmaster Nitya, can you please explain the speech objectives?
Yes, Chitra. So today, Saurabha L1 P1 speech. So this is a very first speech. The purpose of the speech is to let the speaker introduce himself or herself to the club and also learn some basic structure of the speech. So along with that, there are few aspects, probably like clarity on the speech, vocal variety, or the gestures used during a speech. So there are few aspects that's looked at, but in a high level, the structure of the speech is what has been mostly expected from the speaker. So all the very best, Saurabha. So over to you, Chitra. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitya. So With this, I would be back with my report when the Toastmaster of the day calls me upon during the evaluation section of the meeting. Back to you, Toastmaster Rajan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chitra. So now I would like to introduce someone who is a huge Swiftie, a Taylor Swift fan, whose favorite bird is chestnut-headed bee-eater, and who loves nature, who loves plants, and who loves to do so many things. You will know soon as our icebreaker. So now I would like to call upon today's icebreaker speech, Sorbha Hegde, for the journalist Sorbha Hegde. Thank you. Sorbha, over to you.
Thank you, Rajan. Um, it's about the journey, not the destination, says the great philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson. Today, I'll take you through my life's journey so far. So get ready and fasten your seatbelts. Imagine you're driving a car through the hilly roads of Western Ghats. There are gigantic trees on either side of the road, and it's a little bit dark, so you turn on your headlights. Then it starts raining. It starts raining heavily. It almost looks magical and dreamy, like in the movies. Then now you have to take a right diversion to a muddy road. That road leads to my home, Mattihalli. That's where I was born. Hello there, I'm Saurabha. I'm very nice to meet you all. In Mattihalli, I spent the first year of my life. Yeah, it's a very dreamy village. And then when I was a year old, I moved to a nearby less dreamy city called Shirsi, but Shirsi is very rich in culture and heritage. Shirsi is popular for beautiful waterfalls, vast Arakanat valleys, also for folk dances like Yakshagana and Veda Ravesha, and it is home for many classical musicians. That's where I gained for my passion for different subjects and varieties of fields. So I like to call myself as a generalist and not a specialist because my hobbies and interests lie across the field. I love history, I love science, I love math, I am interested in art, I love watching movies, I absolutely love reading books, I love going for cycling in the nature, I love fruit picking. I have so many different hobbies and interests. So today I'll introduce you to a few of my interesting hobbies, and also along with that I'll tell you how I reached here. I started singing when I was 4 years old. It started with me singing bhajans with my mom, and it continued with me performing and participating in various activities throughout my school and college life. Even now, I love singing. I'm interested in Hindustani classical music. I also listen to rock, pop, indie, all other genres as well. I just love music in general. I was 5 years old when I bought my first bi-monthly children's magazine called Tunturu. I bought it because my cousin had it and I loved the cover page of the book. It had Ma Durga with 12 hands and she was looking like the most beautiful goddess. And I really wanted that book, so I bought it. And then I fell in love with reading. I bought the bi-monthly every week. It continued with reading all the Kannada literature magazines. And now I love Purnachandra Tejasvi, S.L. Bhairappa, K.N. Ganeshaya novels. I also read non-fiction and other genres of books as well. In school, I was not exactly a shy kid for the first 5 years of my schooling. I used to talk with friends, and then I started talking, a lot of talking. In every class, my teachers used to come and say, "Don't speak, Saurabha, it's your last warning." But I wouldn't stop because I absolutely love talking to everyone. Then, when I was 9 years old, I started bird watching. My friends and I used to grab the bicycle in the evening and carefully observe all the birds around us in our colony. I still remember the magical moment when I saw a golden oriole for the first time and last. My favorite bird is, as I said, chestnut-headed beater. I also like palm swift and great Indian hornbill. And I love birds in general. I call them my avian friends. Even though I can't talk to them, I believe they can understand me. Let's see. I'll move on to my next hobby. When I was 13 years old, I started crocheting. Crocheting is that one hobby every grandma does. It's compulsory for grandmas, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm not a grandma yet, but my soul is a little bit old, I believe. Yeah, I like crocheting because just with a needle and a single strand of thread, you can create such a beautiful art that's going to last for decades to come. So I'm absolutely fascinated by any kind of art and craft that is there. Then I came to 10th standard. Like everyone else, I didn't have enough time to give for hobbies. But that's when I fell in love with botany. I started observing the plants, their life cycle, when they sprout, how long they stay in there on top of the soil, and how they hide. I absolutely love seasonal plants because I'm mesmerized by the process of how you can just come out of the earth for the season you love. You can soak in the rain and smell the winds of monsoon, and you can just disappear like you're never there and come back again next year when no one even remembers you or calls you. That process is beautiful. That's when I started collecting all the monsoon plants like orchids, gladiolus, and dahlias. They just come up every year and I absolutely love them. Then it was time to move to my undergrads. I moved to Dharwad. That's where I discovered the most wonderful people that I know. And I tried many different things like debate, joining a band, learning to play guitar, playing table tennis. I collected even more new hobbies. And through campus placements, I got placed in Radisys. That's how I'm here. I didn't like Bangalore in the beginning. I hated it so much that on the day when NCG training was over, I had booked my ticket to go back to Shirsi. I went back home and my dad told me, give it some time. Try to discover Bangalore. And so, see, you love so many different things. You might even love Bangalore, right? You should give it a chance, he said. So I came back, keeping in my head that I would gonna live here only for 15 days and go back again for Diwali. But after Diwali, I came back again. I discovered my new hobby of exploring the city. So every weekend I go out, find a new place in Bangalore, take my friends, and I explore the city and try to enjoy whatever Bangalore is for what it is exactly. It is a beautiful thing, seeing so many people commute to work every day and build their lives here, which they couldn't do in their cities. That's a wonderful process. And Taylor Swift is there with me in there. Every morning I put my headphones on, I sit in the bus, and I absolutely love listening to 20 minutes of Taylor Swift. And that's how I start and end my day. So this is my life journey so far. I think now you know me a little bit better than you did 6 minutes ago. I joined Toastmasters to know you all, get to know different ideas, come across so many different people, their interests, and meet them and learn to talk. I absolutely love it. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, my mentors. Thank you, Sharath. Thank you, Chitra, for your timely guidance. Over to you, Rajan. Thank you.
Thank you so, Saurabha. That was so full of verve, and I'm pretty sure everybody is full of verve now. So, and we got to know a lot about you, like your interest. And as I said, please teach me crochet behind the scenes that I. So, yeah. So now continuing with our Toastmasters, I'm going to introduce our table topic master for today, who loves to eat chole bhature, loves singing, love listening Kumar Sanu, and he believes that there is no substitute for hard work. Now, I would like to call upon Vikas Kumar. Over to you, Vikas, Toastmasters Vikas Kumar.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction, Toastmaster Rajan. So the table topic session is open to all and anyone can volunteer yourself to participate. So for table topic, I have prepared a slide. So let me just share my screen and please let me know if my screen is visible. Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes.
So in this slide, I have added some points and you can speak in favor of that point, some points, or you can speak against of that point, or you can speak some point in favor of that point and some point in against of that point. Let me show you an example. Like if I click on this on the number 5, so here is an, if you can see, there is a topic. Either you can speak in favor of it, or you can speak in against of it, or you can give some point in favor of it and some point in against of it. So we have some options. So I want any volunteer who can come and choose any number. Anybody want to volunteer?
Vikas?
Yes, Rajan. Yes. Which number you want to select?
Number 2.
So this is a topic. So do you think plastic bags should be banned completely? So what are your thoughts?
So, okay, I want to go against it, unlike popular opinion. So plastic bag should not be banned, as it is actually something that takes people on. I think there is the plastic bag is the thing, like the people from the least, the one who earn the least, it's their daily life. Like people, those people, they put everything in that. I have seen people like roaming with food, roaming with all of their stuff, their pen, pencil, everything. I have some friends who could not afford a lot, but they keep their things in that plastic bag. The thing about plastic is that it cannot go bad for longer, right? So even in my household as well, like my mother sometimes save the plastic bag came with some certain items, some ordered items, certain items, and took it with herself so that it could be used for later on. Like if some packaging from Amazon comes up, so she will use it for something else and does not throw it away directly. So I would say that plastic bags are the one of the things that is the cheapest and things that should not be banned, as it helps a lot and it saves a lot of things. So that's all from my side.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Rajan. And I think the plastic is one thing which can be recycled, and one thing which can be recycled, it is the good thing. Yeah, but we shouldn't use to know how to use the plastic. That's the most important thing. So anyone who want to choose another number? Yeah, Chitra.
5. So, oh,
Five.
that was a joke.
No,
3.
you can also speak on
Oh,
it
okay.
if you
No,
want.
3. It's okay. It was revealed
Okay.
on by 3.
Is co-education a good idea?
So I have always been educated in a co-education. No, actually, that's not true. Yeah, sorry. I will start over. Okay. So almost all of my life, ever since I started education, I was in a co-ed atmosphere, not just in school, but where I grew up and in life as such. More or less, pretty much all my life, I have been in atmosphere, like my parents helped me grow up in a way that it was not restrictive that I was a girl, right? I used to mingle with boys and girls equally in a world where you have to go out and face everybody of all types of personality, gender, be it whatever, right? So co-education is an excellent idea where you get a range of opinions, personalities that you want, that you will interact with later in your life. However, when I went to college, that is my engineering, I went to a girls only engineering college. True story. I mean, there are very few of such colleges in the country, probably in the world, but it was a very different and a unique atmosphere, which I was not very comfortable with initially, because most of the colleges most of my life, I have fought with boys, had physical fights, ideas exchanged. But it was a very unique and a different atmosphere where you could also bond with people who were very alike you, have different ideas. It is not distracting in many ways that you watch in movies. I hope you get the drift, right? You don't waste time in making boyfriend girlfriend and focus on education, focus on what is important at that stage in your life. So probably co-education could be for other gender based education institute could also be a good idea. But in given this day and age, I don't understand the meaning of what restricting a specific gender in an institution could be. That's my conclusion. Back to you, Toastmaster Vikas.
Yeah, thank you, Chitra. I think co-ed is very important to make a gender neutral society, and it is a good idea in my opinion. And anybody else want to choose any number? Sorry. Anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, Madhu. Which
Yeah.
number you want to select?
One number first.
Number first. Yeah, is the death penalty effective? That's your topic.
Okay. Just a second. See, death penalty has been started long ago, and people think that we will set an example so that it will other people it will hinder their motive towards the heinous crime. Like one of the our recent lives, we see the Delhi Nirvaya gang rape, and that time it was happened that their people started moving against those activists who were uh, raising concern in against the death penalty. But what do we see that even after we had the law in place and legally we are having the death penalty, it is not hindering the crime against the such people. But yeah, there is no certain statics, but such literally give some fear in the mind of the criminals to avoid such crimes. So and death penalty, I do see in rarest of rare crime, it is good, good. And one against, I see the law is most of the European country do not give the death penalty, but still they are mostly crime free. So will I am in the support of the rarest of rare crime. We should have the death penalty. That. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Madhu.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Sorba, you want to go next or for?
Yeah, sure.
Is it worth exploring the space as we have the means lots of people to feed? So what are your points on it?
Yes, it is absolutely worth exploring the space because many of the day-to-day equipments that we use have been uh, invented by NASA, which were found during exploring the space. The purpose was exploring the space, but we in turn found some things which we use in day-to-day life. First thing. Second thing is Earth is not going to sustain forever. I know that it's not going to end in like 500 or 1,000 years, but it is right time to start exploring our next home, because we don't know how long it's going to last, and we are an expanding population. So it is right time to start doing that. Second thing. Third thing is, there are many unanswered questions in the science which brightest of the bright minds won't find an answer for. So it is an opportunity for them to use their skills, use their curiosity to find their passion and explore the space and find answers for the right questions. And we as a society have always been wanted to know where we came from, how this world came to existence, what is the purpose, why are we even here. Such existential questions cannot be answered just with some theoretical explanations. It is very necessary that we explore the space and know above and beyond of the world, and know everything under our observable universe. So yes, it is worth exploring space, even if it costs billions of dollars for a country. It is still like worth exploring the space. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sorma. Anybody wants to give the try to the fifth one? Anybody, if you want.
I will just try.
Okay, yes. Go ahead, Harshita.
Yeah, thank you. Should national anthem be made compulsory in cinema? In my view, I will vote to make it compulsory in cinema, because singing national anthem in the prayers and pledges, it is still up to our schooling only. I feel like no one will sing national anthem from their intermediate and BTech and further studies. Maybe like they will forget even, in my view, after their 10th standard. And because this national anthem is a national pride of the country, Rabindranath Tagore composed it in a very well structured manner, that the complete song should take around 52 seconds. He composed in that manner, and it showcases the geography of the country, like mountains and rivers, etc. And he composed it in Gujarati, as I know. As the national anthem indicates, or it directly signifies signifies our national strength and or our national pride. I think we can revise and we can recollect, remember in every movie, because for every person, watching movies is like a hobby. So that we'll not forget our national anthem during our lifetime. And as I know, Subhash Chandra Bose selected this Janaganamana as a national anthem of our country. And Rabindranath Tagore, for his contributions in the literature, poetry, and he's awarded with the Nobel Prize also. Among his contributions, this national anthem is an important and critical among his poetry or verses. And it also signifies or motivates every citizen towards our nation, towards the devotion of the nation. And we can also learn the composition, like how the language should be composed as a verse, means like a poem. Yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Harshita. So yeah, I think there should be one thing that that can unite us as a nation. So there should be at least some rituals should be there. So why not national anthem? So it's a good thing. So I think it is the end of the Toastmaster session, and I want to back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Rajan Sahu. So thank you. Thank you everyone for participating.
Thank you, Vikas, for this such an intriguing questions for us for the table topics. Now I would like to again continue my story of serendipity. So now the story goes back about 100 years Like in 1928, a certain scientist went to a holiday. Now he went to a holiday forgetting something in his crucible, and there was a mold growing on that. And what happened? That even after like coming back, he found out that something has gotten wrong, and interestingly he was very curious and saw that that part of mold was avoided by bacteria. So this was the story that discovered the discovery of penicillin, and the doctor was none other than Alexander Fleming. So that was a happy accident that happened few hundred years back and has impact till now, that penicillin has saved millions of lives. Not only that, even after that happy accident, it took about 13-14 years to develop the correct penicillin dose. And with so many different experts in their field, their hard work, that happened. So the serendipity alone is not enough. I guess a lot of hard work is also there. So now, continuing our Toastmaster session, I would like to call upon our general evaluator, Nitya, for their report. Our speech evaluator, Nitya, for their report.
So Ranjan, probably I would like to give it to Chitra. So probably Chitra, however you want to do the general
Okay, you
evaluation,
can
we do that.
proceed. Nitya, it's fine.
Okay, thank you. Generalist, what a way to introduce your native. You visually took us to your native by your short intro about your native. That was so catchy. I was thinking that you're going to take us through some short story of something, but that was wonderful to to reach to Madhili with you in your introduction. You were generalist when you set the context. You said, I love history, I love science, I love maths, I love art. Wow, what not? I was thinking that you're going to take us through that way. But for a change, your hobbies were, so what not is the question that I had. Okay. So it was so enthusiastically you have spoken, and we enjoyed thoroughly with you. Only thing is you are a little fast, but probably it's due to the enthusiasm that you had, or probably that you can work upon a little. Um, th- uh, I mean during the hobbies, it's not just the hobbies that you have explained, the minute details that you have seen through in the hobbies or you have enjoyed. Probably for few things that I've really liked is for botany, you have mentioned how the plant can hide under the soil for some time, and for the moons and plants you have mentioned they disappear as if they were not there. And also the avian friends for the bird watching, it was all something you have connected us, or you have took us through a different dimension that you see in the hobby. That was wonderful. The choice of words, or the way you presented your hobbies were so good, and we really enjoyed that. So overall, I have seen that you have structured your speech in a way that from your childhood to the in so and so years, what hobby that interested you. That was really good. But you have mentioned at fifth year I've done this, ninth year I've done this. Probably there you could have worked a little, rather than introduce a hobby first, and probably somewhere around ninth I get to work. I mean, something like that. It's probably a small minute thing that I'm just saying. You have structured it in a nice way, but when you presented it, instead of putting an year first, maybe you have worked upon a little there. That's all. So overall, it was a very, very interesting speech, I would say, and you are very comfortable on the way that you are presented it. Probably the vocal variety, probably a few places, though with your enthusiasm we could feel it, but maybe at certain places you can work on that. That's all. So overall, it was so good, and you have ended it in a very good note that the Toastmasters I've learned. I've learned to talk. I want to learn to talk. So we all enjoy that, and yes, we will see you grow in Toastmasters further. Over to you. Thanks a lot and congratulations. Over to you, Shikha.
Rajan, do you want to take the session forward, or should we start the evaluation?
I would like to take. So finally, the last story I would like to conclude is mine again, with the serendipity. So what happened in the third semester of my master's? What happened that we have to choose a research practice professor for guidance. That happened that I was mailing all of the professors to take me in for their research project, and I have this skills. I was avoiding a certain professor who was supposed to be the most difficult professor for the research. And what happened? I was just typed a name and it was in the mail. So I have also sent that mail to that RP professor. What happened? He was the only professor who took me as a research. So that was an accident. I thought that, oh my God, what happened? And now I have to work with this professor, this difficult professor. So now what happened? That under him, I learned a lot of things that I thought that so like magical, like that is real and people are doing research on. So I got my research interest got back through him. And that is the project I put in the resume I gave for Radisys. So because of that happy accident, that maybe that time it was not that happy. I was so sad that I sent that mail. But now I'm here. Now, but that required a lot of hard work to understand that some accident could be happy. So we can, if we try, we can see serendipity happening all around us. It's just a matter of time and matter of hard work that we make any accident as a happy accident or a serendipity. So with that, I would like to conclude my theme and would continue. I would ask Chitra for continuing the evaluation for the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajan. Thank you for that very interesting session. So I would like to start my evaluation as the session went by. So starting with the Sergeant at Arms, that is Toastmaster Harshita. So we started almost on time, which is a great feat. Congratulations, Toastmaster Harshita. I think it's a very difficult thing to do, and I really appreciate you for that. So after starting the session, you had a very short speech, and then you introduced the president of the day. So in your speech, probably instead of very minor corrections, like instead of saying I will start with a quote, you can probably start with a different sentence, like there is a quote or something like that. So these are small variations that you can bring to your speech. Not that there is anything bad or wrong with it. I just like probably things to improve upon. That's all. Then moving on to the president, Toastmaster Gaurav. As usual, a very well opened session, and you welcomed everybody, and a great story to start with. I think we all learned a lot from that. Then came the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rajan. So what I really liked about the way you started about the session was explaining the role of the Toastmaster of the day itself. So which is something that we don't generally do, but it was really good to hear. So great start there. Then there were a lot of very interesting stories about the discovery of Neptune and the vaccine, things like that. And towards the end, you had your personal story. Probably it would have been nice to hear your story first. I mean, it's just a matter of structuring and personal taste, and maybe insert these stories in between the sections instead of keeping it in the beginning and at the end. Because while today we were not over time, but many times towards the end things rush up, people drop out, right? So probably see like have them in between each section, so that each section like is like in between your speeches, right? And if possible, try to keep the session uh, more interactive. Probably you could ask people if they have had such experiences, small bits here and there, just for improvement. Otherwise, your stories were very interesting. The way you conducted the session was extremely enjoyable. So good job there, Toastmaster Rajan, especially for a first time. It was great. So moving on to the tag team. So, okay, before I do the tag team evaluation, I'll move on to the speech and the other sections, then we can bring the tag team. Sorry for that. So, first, Toastmaster Saurabha, congratulations on starting your journey with Toastmasters and your icebreaker speech. So, uh, I feel like the word of the day was chosen by Gaurav after listening to your speech or something, because it was so full of verve. It's like, I think what Nitya also kept pointing out, it was like so much energy that it felt like there's so much packed into such a short life that you have led till now. What more could come type, right? So, but having said that, there are a few minor things just to improve upon what was already excellent. One was, I think, what Nitya also very rightly pointed out, was the pace of the speech. But it was like we were all on this ride with you, right? So it didn't matter. But probably in some other speeches, it could work better if the pace was a little slower, right? And one minor point where it could be more enjoyable was when you started, right? You said imagine and you took us through your village. Probably you could have said close your eyes, and that part alone, if you had made it slower, right? We would be like in that world. Too many movies I'm watching probably because of that. I am saying that, right? Otherwise, excellent speech. I think everybody I speak for, we all enjoyed it a lot. So congratulations, Saurabha. Moving on to the evaluation, Toastmaster Nitya, you explained the objectives really well. And during your evaluation, I really like the way you wove the entire evaluation around a generalist. I think that was one word that stuck out to me during the speech that Saurabha gave, because all of us, I mean, the way she structured her speech was around that. And it, in a way, indirectly, it kept coming back to that. And your evaluation was also around that. So that was a very nice way to evaluate. And I think you pretty much pointed out everything that I also wanted to say. So I don't have a lot of other feedbacks on the evaluation as such. Now, moving on to the table topics section, I think debate is a format which is really light and everybody enjoys it. And the topics that you chose, Vikash, were very, very interesting. You also had an example and which was easy to understand. Probably, I don't know, probably it was my confusion personally, or I mean, if the speaker had to speak for and against or choose any one of them. So maybe if you had just spoken on that topic and showed what exactly you mean, it would have been nice. But otherwise, the topics were interesting. It was a very nice format as such, and you had comment on every speech after the speaker spoke, and which encouraged everybody to come back and speak. So great job, Toastmaster Vikash. On the individual speakers, so Toastmaster Rajan, like it is generally not a stand to take that you should take use plastic, right? So it was very interesting to hear what you said, and a very different point of view, and like nice, informative, I mean, personally, I would say it was really good. Then for myself, probably as usual, like should take a few seconds to assimilate my thoughts before I start talking, instead of saying I will start over. Then Toastmaster Madhu, I mean, that question that you were asked was probably what human beings have been grappling with for a very long time, but you like summarized it really well and showed where you stand. It was really good. Toastmaster Saurabha, I think it was like you knew the topic already and you had 1, 2, 3 points. I don't know how like it like an experienced orator who already knows this topic. It was really well put together speech. Harshita, again, like Rajan, right? This is probably one of the first interesting arguments I have heard for having national anthem in the cinema theaters, and revising the national anthem every now and then was a very good point, I would say, because we all tend to forget these things. So great points brought forth, and the facts about national anthem, etc. Instead of going through the motions of the same arguments that people make about patriotism, etc. It was a very well structured and good points brought out. Thanks for that. With that, I think most of the session is covered. So I would like to call upon Toastmaster Madhu Ranjan for the timer report. Toastmaster Madhu.
Thank you, Chitra. I am sharing my screen. Okay, it is visible to all. Let me know if it is visible. Okay. So, prepared a speech. Saurabha was allocated 4 to 6 minutes. As a generalist, Saurabha, she took around 7 minutes. It was more than allocated time frame, but which ones were to introduce various dimensions of her life led to cross the limit. Table topics number 1, Rajan. Table topics generally had the 1 to 2 minutes. So first topic was by Rajan, and the topic was the plastic ban. He was well within the time of 1 minute. Second topic was by Chitra. That was the co-education, whether the co-education good idea. She took 2 minutes 10 seconds and were to share the life experience across the co-education across the limit. Third topic was by me, death penalty. I took around 1 minute 50 seconds, and this was well within the limit. Next topic was by Saurabha. Topic is it worth exploring the space? She took 1 minute 30 seconds, well within the limit. Next, Harshita, topic was national anthem in cinema. She took 2 minutes, just in limit. And the evaluation, Nitya evaluated the Saurabha generalist idea. She took around 3 minutes 30 seconds. And the verb to motivate Saurabha led to cross the limit. That's all with the timer report. Over to you, Chitra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Madhu. I think very detailed report and use of the word of the day as well. So great job. So next we'll move on to the R counter. Toastmaster Gaurav, can you, no, sorry, Toastmaster Harshita, can you please present your report?
Yes, I just shared my screen. Is it visible? Please let me know. Yeah, thank you. And today's Saurabha speech is very well prepared and planned, and it is filled with verb. I'm not able to notice any filler sounds like umaraha. She just used conjunctions like and around 10 times and so for 4 times. That's all in her speech. So the evaluator Nitya for Saurabha's speech, I don't notice any conjunctions, but just so and are used, that's all. But it is negligible only. Just the filler sounds like and ha are less than 5. And this is my counter report. I just prepared it for the prepared speech and evaluator for the prepared speech. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harshita. So as we do not have the counter report for rest of the role players, we will move on. Next, can I call upon Toastmaster Gaurav to present the grammarian report?
Thank you, Toastmaster Chitra. It was a very wonderful session. I love the verb of all speakers and the way they shared their ideas, and the speeches were very good. Let me just share my screen to display the grammarian report. Is it visible to all? Okay. So today, the word of the day was verb, and I found 4 speakers use the word of the day. TMOD Rajan Sahu, he used it once. General evaluator Toastmaster Chitra, she used it twice. Timer Toastmaster Madhuranjan uses 3 times, and our counter Toastmaster Harshita used it once. In this session, I found a lot of good words. You can see all those words I have listed, and I think I have to drag more. I think there are more words. Okay, so okay, I think, yeah, this is the final list. So succinct, and then the avian, assimilate, mesmerized, orchid, generalist, crochet, heinous, rarest of rare, anarchy, intriguing, and then the bird name. This I heard the very first time. Chestnut, headed bee eater, headed bee eater. So a lot of good word which we use in today's session, and I love the way all the members and all the participants are coming up with new word and making this session a successful one. On the correction note, I just found 2 corrections. It happened only in the table topic segment, where few incomplete sentences were used, and I think it may happen when people are thinking and speaking simultaneously. It may happen, and in once or twice I observed the use of present and past tense in a single form of verb which was used, that was not correct, and just not Thakur. Yeah, so this is my report. This is my grammarian report, and overall it was a very nice session, and I encourage all of you to use this word of the day in our day-to-day life. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Chitra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav. That was a very detailed and yet concise report. I really appreciate that. So moving on to the next section, it would be voting and feedback. So back to you, Toastmaster Rajan.
I would like to ask Harshita to help out on voting.
Yes, Rajan. I will share the voting link and feedback link in the chat itself. I'll just share the feedback link, and here is the voting link. I request everyone to share their voting and feedback through using this link. I will share the feedback link in the mail as well. And please provide me the voting now. And please provide the valuable feedback, so that for every individual, this feedback is very much useful to improve in their further speeches. Yeah, thank you. Last time, like I'm able to see less feedback given by only few people, I think. Yeah, please, everyone, use this opportunity to give feedback for everyone. Thank you.
Have you pasted the link, Harshita?
Harshita, I think...
Sorry, yeah. Actually, yeah. Actually, I checked the message option to Gaurav actually
Okay,
as
okay,
a
okay.
filter. Now I kept for everyone. I can share it again. Please check. I forgot actually. Yes. Yeah, I received only 4 responses for routing. Yeah, request reminding Toastmasters also to provide the outing. We are around 6 people, right, for this session now?
Yeah, 7.
7, huh? I received 5 or 6 responses. Or maybe one more. Still I receive only 6. Oh, one more person still need to give her their routing.
You vote for Harshita?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I voted. I voted. I'm able to see only 6
Yeah.
persons, 6 people in the meeting.
Actually, I'm not able to access it through laptop. I'm doing it through mobile.
Okay. Okay, we shall wait for a while. Or you directly ping me votes. Personal chat. Anything is fine if it takes time.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Let me check. Okay. Yeah, just give me a second, Laura. I will just share you the subject.
Harshita, did we receive all the votes?
Yes, Laura.
Okay.
I received all the votes. I will just share you the certificate.
Okay.
Mm.
Meanwhile, I just want to share one more update. So we are planning to conduct linkers meeting or a rendezvous meeting in coming weeks. So I will check with our area director for the support from other club so that we can join together and conduct a session. Session related detail will be shared in coming days, and yeah, please stay tuned. And it will be a different experience for all the members to meet members of other club, and they will be coming to these meetings and sharing their practices, so we can learn a lot from them and we can share our practices as well. So Rajan and Saurabh, you guys are in office, right? So
Yes.
so how is the schedule like? You guys are going daily, or you guys are going like Wednesdays or any specific days? How is it for your teams?
I come here daily.
Okay.
This week
What
I'm
about
coming daily. Yeah, this week, all the days this week.
Okay. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
planning to
I mailed you, Gaurav.
start the hybrid. Okay. Yeah, Harshita, let me check.
Yeah, sure.
I think there is some network delay. I will receive in some time. So what I was saying, we were planning to start our sessions in a hybrid fashion. So if people are coming to office, I think it will be like good. More people, if they are in office, we can think on that part, and we can start having this in-person meeting as well. So we'll discuss internally. I will discuss this with our XCOM team, and whenever they will decide, we can start the hybrid sessions as well. Yeah, I have received the mail. Let me just check.
That would be actually good. Like today we were trying to find a place to have this session actually. Me and Harshita was wandering everywhere. Like, it would be better if there is a designated place for that.
Let me share my screen. Is it visible to all?
Yes.
Yeah, so best table topic award. This is the first award. It goes to Toastmasters Saurabh. And the next award is best evaluator. That goes to Toastmaster Nitya. Then we have best role player. This award goes to Toastmaster Chitra. And the final one is best role. Okay, we have a tie for the best role player award. So the second best role player award goes to Toastmaster Rajan Sahu. And I think we have one more award, that is best speaker, that goes to Toastmaster Saurabh. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining the meeting and participating in all the events. And it was a very wonderful session where everyone volunteered. This time, I think this was the first time when I saw in table topic, participants were volunteering. Usually the table topic master choose the speaker, but this time speakers were volunteering. So it's a very good practice, and I think we will continue this in our future sessions as well. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day ahead. With this, I would like to close the session.
Thank you, everyone.